What's up, guys? Welcome, Chris Gates from Chris Gates Fitness. He's a fitness coach. We're going to talk all about staying healthy at home today on the show. Chris, welcome to the show.
Daniel, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Dude, it's exciting. It's an exciting time for fitness. I feel like no one's talked more about fitness in my lifetime than they have right now. Like I feel like every morning, whether you're watching Good Morning America or whatever it is you're watching, it's like someone is talking about how to stay healthy at home.
Yeah, it's maybe a silver lining to come out of just how crazy a year it's been, but I feel like people are maybe more focused now on their personal health than they ever have been, and that's probably a good thing, right? If we can get creative and find new ways to implement either physical activity or proper nutrition, things like that, healthy lifestyle habits. If that's something good that comes out of this, I think that's a huge win for everybody. And I agree with you. And that's something that you're seeing a whole heck of a lot more now, is people talking about personal health, and I think that's great.
Does it make you think, like, why weren't we doing this before? Like, just there's a bunch of things in the pandemic that are like that, but this one is like, wait, why weren't we talking about fitness on all these morning shows every single day anyways?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. You would like it to not be a global pandemic that causes us to focus on our own health, because really it's one of the most important things we have, our ability to do everything that we want to do in our day-to-day lives, and in the future, the goals that we have. A lot of it, the majority of it, is dependent upon our health. So yeah, it is crazy that it's taken this for us to get so serious about it and talk more about it and focus on it, and have people actively thinking about how to start doing the right things with their health. But again, like I said, if if it's happening now, it's a good thing, and hopefully that carries on. As life gets back to normal, we continue to keep it top of mind. That's something I hope.
Yeah, they're gonna let us all free, in a few months or a year or whatever it is, and everyone's just gonna be buff. Everyone's gonna be stacked, ready to go.
Yeah, hopefully, right? That's the hope. That's the hope.
Well, let's go back and talk about you, Chris. You are a fitness coach. What does a fitness coach do?
Yeah, so I'm specifically an online fitness coach.
Hmm.
So I think there's a lot of different things that I do. I think maybe the biggest thing is help to provide people with accountability, and kind of that person to walk them through the process of, if it's they have a specific goal that they want to achieve with their fitness, or if it's simply just instituting healthier habits. I think that having a partner in the process is humongous. I personally didn't really know what I was doing with my own fitness up until I got to college, and I met a friend who was very much into it, had a background in football, knew how to lift weights, knew the ins and outs of the weight room and what you should do in a gym. And it wasn't until I met him and he kind of took me under his wing and showed me what you can do, and all the different aspects of fitness, things you can try. It wasn't until I met somebody like that and had them take me through it that I knew what you could do with it. So I think it's the accountability piece that I provide for people, and I also kind of, I think, hopefully serve as that friend that can walk you through the process of achieving whatever goal there is, or help open new doors for you in terms of figuring out what you like to do, and what you can do, over the long term, throughout the course of your life. And then, of course, there's the specifics. I try to help people specifically, if they have a specific goal they want to achieve, what's the path that's going to get you there most efficiently. So that's part of it too, I think.
Yeah, and like when you were, if you take you back to college, and I know you have your master's degree and all that, and in this, like, but when you were, learning, the importance of lifting weights, and you're learning from this friend, like, what clicked in your head that you're like, wait, like, I want to make this a part of my, like, career? because a lot of people lift weights, you know what I mean? And they're like, no, I lift weights, but I'm an accountant. Like I'm not trying to make this my career. Like, what made you think like, oh man, like I want to do this?
Yeah, it's a crazy thing to get so passionate about something, and for me it was lifting weights and being active and say like, okay, I'm so passionate about this. How do I make it my job? That's not an easy thing to do, but I think the motivating factor was just seeing how being consistent with healthy habits translated to my quality of life, and really seeing the little things that you can do, whether you're in the gym or if you're going for walks or going for runs or whatever type of exercise you enjoy, um, seeing how staying consistent with it can really improve you over a long period of time. And you can really see the progress happen when you stay consistent with it, to transform your life. And that's what it's done for me. And so I'm so passionate about fitness because of the positive impact it's had on my life, that, I wanted to have that positive impact for everybody's life. Like, if I could get everybody as excited about lifting weights or going for runs or exercising on a daily basis as I am, I mean, that's the goal right there. So that's really my goal, is to make people happy, healthy, and strong. And I feel like if I can um, reach as many people as possible and try and get them to fall in love with it the way I am, then that's great. And I think that's what motivates me.
Oh, that's really cool. Cause like, I mean, how does that make you feel when, when you're helping someone and like you have examples on like online and everything. And it's like, how does that make you feel whenever all of a sudden you've been working with somebody for, I don't know, 3 months, 6 months, and it's just consistent and it's all working for them and you just see the transformation in them? Like, how does that make you feel?
It's better than me accomplishing anything. It's so much better than, like, if I have a goal that I'm working towards and I get there, I'm like, okay, cool. But if it's a client that I'm working with and they, want to do X, whatever that is, and we slowly take the steps, and like as you're going along, you see the progress happening and you get to that end point. That's a bigger rush and thrill for me than anything I could do for myself personally. So um, yeah, that's what I love to do, is help people, get into it, see progress, and then want to continue with it long term.
No, that is just so cool. And right now I feel like it's super important. I mean, you were an online fitness coach. So while everyone else was kind of scrambling to figure out what was going to go down once everything shut down in March, you were just like, I'm here. I'm already here. I'm already on the internet. I'm already ready to go. I mean, how, like, did that make you kind of excited? I mean, I know it's a pandemic, so it's not like it's a good thing or anything, but like where everyone else was trying to learn how to do things over Zoom and how to do other things over like all these video conferencing things, whether you're using Teams or whatever, like you were just, I'm here. Let's get fit.
Yeah, it was a big opportunity, I think. One, for people to realize that you can, work with coaches online, and no matter where you are, no matter where I am, we can connect and try and take some steps in the right direction. But yeah, the first thing I did was I grabbed my camera. I have a home gym. I'm blessed to have my own home gym, and I went down into my home gym, and I thought, okay, what are the limitations people have right now, and how can I try and help them get past those? So I thought, well, everybody's got stuff lying around the house. What can we do with stuff lying around the house? So I put a bunch of backpack workouts together, where you load up a backpack with books or whatever you have. You do squats and presses and rows and stuff like that. And what can you do with resistance bands? Basically anything that's very accessible for people, because that was the big hurdle that we ran into, and it's something that people are still dealing with today, which is crazy. 9-10 months later, as all this has kind of unfolded, is that gyms are open, gyms are closed. The things that we were used to having maybe aren't as accessible anymore. So what do we know that we always have access to, and how can we be creative about using that to continue to stay active, continue to keep those healthy habits as part of the day to day. Yeah, it was a big opportunity, and I just tried to react in a way that I felt would help people as much as possible, and I hope that it did.
Well, the backpack workout, right? I remember when you did this and I was just like, that's super cool. Like we need more things like that because you go on Amazon and you look up weights. Let's say you want to try to, you're like, you know what? I want to get like a couple 20-pound dumbbells. Let's do it. And then you look at it and you're like, wait, why is two dumbbells like $150? You know, it's like everybody just, supply demand. That's how it was. And
Yeah.
you're like, I can't afford to just buy a couple things, a couple weights that are normally like 10, $20. Now they're like $100. And I think the backpack workouts, it's those are so important for people because, I think a lot of people probably were just like bummed out because they're like, I can't afford to put weights in my house now. And everybody's stuck at home.
Yeah, I mean, I have a set of adjustable dumbbells in my home gym, and the price that I bought them for, as compared to the price that they're going for now, it's like 5 times more expensive, which is nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think what I say to people a lot is that your body doesn't really know what you're using to get a workout. Your body just knows that it's working out. So whether it's a 20-pound dumbbell that you're curling, or if you put 20 pounds in a shopping bag and curl it with your arm, it's your arm's just curling, so you can get creative if you can kind of break away from, okay, this is what's been convenient for me. This is what I know. This is how I exercise, to think like, no, it doesn't have to be that way. We can really mimic what you were doing in the past, but just in a different way. And if you can get comfortable and understand that and get creative with it, there's still a ton you can do. So basically everybody has a home gym. We just don't view it as that. There's a lot of stuff around the house that you can mess around with and, get good workouts in if you're willing to open your mind up to it and be a little bit creative.
So are you just like walking around your house, like sort of picking up things, just like, I think this could work?
Yeah, what's that? What some gym has a commercial where they say, I pick things up and put them back down. That's what I'm doing around my house, man. I'm just picking up everything. I see a chair, I pick it. Oh, what can I do with this chair? I wonder. Yeah.
And I mean, and you have a daughter, so you're like, are you using her as a weight?
I'll tell you what, the shoulder presses with a toddler are no joke. If you do enough reps, you can get some serious workouts in. Yeah, it's fun. She has a great time. She feels like she's flying through the air. We do the rocket ship thing up and down, and she has fun. I get in a shoulder workout. Everybody benefits.
Yeah, like your kid is a weight. Like use them. Like,
Yeah,
use them. You have to change their diapers, use them for something.
that's right. It's a give and take relationship. That's 100% right. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, you've been doing this water challenge on since the beginning of the year, and you're on every day chugging a glass of water. How did that become something that you wanted to do starting at the beginning of the year? Like what made that something you wanted to do? Because it's going really well.
Yeah, I'm surprised at how many people were so excited to jump on just a simple water chug challenge. But as December was rolling along, we get to a certain point in the month where you're starting to think about New Year's and starting to think about New Year's resolutions and that type of stuff. And unfortunately, New Year's resolutions for a lot of people typically don't pan out very well. There are things that we set goals, but we don't put a plan in place, and we can't. So we never get to the end goal of what we set for ourselves on New Year's. And I just try to think what's easy, what's accessible to everybody, and what's something that can really benefit your health. And simply hydrating on a daily basis can be such a huge benefit to your overall health. It's not, you're not going to build muscle from drinking water. You're not going to improve your aerobic capacity by drinking water, but you can improve your health. And all of these little things throughout the course of the day that you can choose to do or to not do can make a big difference if you choose to do most of them. So drinking water is just a big one. It's one of those things that I don't think people do enough of. I think a lot of people aren't hydrated as well as they should be. So when you wake up in the morning, you've just had 7 to 8 hours where you're sleeping, you're not drinking any water. So you're dehydrated. Everyone's dehydrated when you wake up. Best thing you can do is chug a glass of water and get the process started in the right direction. Figured it's an easy thing for people to do. Why not give it a shot? I put it out there on social media and was shocked at how many people were totally in on doing it. And we just rolled through the new year, and everybody's chugging water and getting healthier. So it's great.
That is so, but I just love it because of the New Year's resolution thing. I feel like everybody January 1st, back in the day when, back when gyms were actually open, they would all be packed for like the first 15 days
Yeah.
and then they just drops off. I mean, I love the water challenge because it's something simple for people to ease into the year. Cause I just think of it all the time where it's like, people want to get, all right, I want to get skinny, I want to get buff, and I want to do it in a month. And if not
Mhm.
by February, then everybody just quits and then just goes back to their regular lives. But with the water challenge, it just eases you in. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, I think a big problem that a lot of people have is, um, their intentions are right. They have big goals that they want to chase, but the understanding of the process is maybe not all there, and thinking that success is going to happen overnight or progress is going to happen overnight, and not really putting in a plan in place to achieve it results in what you just said. Yeah, the first 2 weeks at any commercial gym are chaos. it's completely packed, but then the and a lot of people that go to gyms say I hate that because it's so packed, but I always like that because it's new people in the gym that are trying to better themselves. And what I always hate to see is what you described, that dwindles as time goes on, and then by February it's just the normal people at the gym again. So yeah, again, it was just the water chug thing is something everybody can wake up and do. And I'm happy that it's caught on as much as it has.
Yeah, dude, I absolutely love it. So like it's just such it's so easy to do. And I
Yeah.
think that's one thing. I think a lot of people think getting healthy if they, we're a little lax for maybe a year, 6 months, whatever during this pandemic, it's not easy on everybody, but I feel like that is just something super easy to do. And also like what are 3 exercises that like everyone can do at home that you think everyone can do, anyone can do at home?
Yeah. Well, we talked about the backpack thing, right? So there's a
Mhm.
lot you can do with a backpack. Everybody has a backpack, everybody has stuff. So everybody listening, think about that stuff you have at home, right? You could do stuff with that. Um, but the first exercise I think of that is probably the most underrated exercise of all physical fitness is simply walking. Anybody can walk. Not enough people choose to do it, and the overall health benefits. We just talked about overall health benefits of just being hydrated. The overall health benefits of simply walking consistently on a day to day basis. It could be a half hour walk at once. It could be 3 10-minute walks throughout the day. That is going to benefit you so much. And if you live in a place like I do, where there's snow on the ground right now, but you have a staircase, you could do flights of stairs. I mean, walking is easy to get creative with, and it's very easily accessible. Beyond that, I love squats, and anybody, you got 2 legs, you can squat up and down. It's a total body movement. You can do it slow, you can do it fast, you can do squats where you have a chair underneath you. There's a lot of different variations of squats that you can do, but again, it's one that's very easily accessible, and you can really get good work out of it. And then another one I think of is probably push-ups, because there's an upper body exercise for you. It gets a lot of the musculature in your upper body working, and it's also very scalable. So if you can't do a traditional push up, you can get on your knees and do a push up. If you can't do a push up on your knees, you can stand and maybe do push ups off of a table. If you can't do that, you could lean into a wall and do push ups off of a wall. So I think that's a very scalable one that, regardless of what your experience level is or your strength level is, you can start in a place that works well for you and gradually work to a place that's more difficult, challenge your body over time, and eventually get to that traditional standard push up. And then from there, add reps, add sets, So push ups, squats, and walking. I mean, I think if you're doing the 3 of those on a daily basis, and if you're joining me for the water chug challenge, you got some good, healthy habits in place right there.
Yeah, those are all good, especially for, kids who are doing school at home, parents who are working from, because like, you and I both working from home, sitting at a desk,
Hmm.
And the walking part is something that I until following you, I didn't think about how much walking you do whenever, whether it's walking to and out, like to and from the parking garage for work, you know what I mean,
Yep.
walking to your car in the morning and all that. And like now that we're all working from home, there's a lot of time where I was walking that I wasn't thinking about that actually being some form of like exercise or being
Hmm.
good for me. And it's like now you're just home and like, wait, I'm just sitting here, no wonder my legs are stiff. Have you thought about that stuff?
Oh yeah, and that's been a big thing for the people that I work with, for my clients, is so many people are working from home now. So those steps that they have throughout the day, that activity that they normally take throughout the day, when life was normal, is non-existent. So you see people that regularly were getting 10,000 steps a day are now getting 2,000 because they live in an apartment, they're working and sleeping and eating from the same room. That's been a just the daily activity that's not even specific planned physical activity or exercise. Just that daily energy expenditure, those daily tasks that you would normally do, walking to the car, walking to the office, getting up, going to a meeting, or if you're in school, walking from class to class, walking to the bus, walking home from the bus. Uh, that's not It doesn't exist right now for a lot of people. And so if you can replace that by getting creative at home and doing flights of stairs or walking around the neighborhood, whatever you can do, I think is really going to help you. You don't think that those little
Yeah.
efforts are going to help, but they really do.
Yeah, I just never thought about that until, after you go months of working at home and you're just like, why do I feel different? I'm doing the
Yeah.
same thing, but then you're like, wait, I am not walking. Just all the walking we do that is just normal. And I just never thought about that being part of like my exercise or part of the reason why I'm not so stiff when I'm like sitting there. You know what I mean? It's like you're not walking to lunch. You're not doing anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I say like walking is the most underrated exercise, because it really does improve your overall health and just how you feel, how your body feels on a daily basis. The more you can walk, the better.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. All right. Well, you've been using social media a lot. Started to use TikTok. You put out a workout to use when watching playoff games or when watching any sport. Really, it could work for. I mean, how has using social media helped you? Because it's like it seems like it's kind of you're killing it on there right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to give people fun ideas like that NFL one, which was cool. But social, I mean, it's the way to connect. And again, right now, when you can't go into a physical gym, or a lot of kids aren't going into a school, you don't have a lot of the face-to-face interactions that you would have with other people. So social media, I I don't know the data, but I'm gonna guess that throughout all of this, social media usage is probably as high as it's ever been. So
I bet.
just trying to put fun workouts out there for people, and also put information out that is helpful and correct, because there is a lot of misinformation with fitness and nutrition and stuff like that. So yeah, TikTok has been fun. I recently jumped on that platform and have been blown away by how much fun it is. I'm not dancing, I'm not singing on there,
Yet.
but yeah, yeah. But I'm giving people information that I hope will help, and it's been received really well. So that's been cool.
Yeah. And with social media, and you just kind of mentioned it, there's so much information on there. And there's
Mhm.
so many magic workouts. Are there magic workouts that will just automatically make you look like, I don't know, X person on TV that you look up to?
Buddy, if there was, I would be doing it. Okay. I'm sad to say no. There's no, the magic is consistency and hard work. And that's all it is. Um there's a lot of diets out there and interval workouts that you hear will be the magic cure, and since you haven't done it, you don't know it, but once you do it, it's going to change the game for you. I think it's all about finding what you find to be enjoyable, and then just being as consistent as you can with that. That doesn't mean you have to work out every day, but that means making a commitment to doing that exercise you love a few times a week. Yeah, the information is a lot. There's a lot to sift through. The magic doesn't exist unless we're talking about consistency. I think that's the magic.
How frustrating is that for you? Person who helps people, you use consistency with their diets, with their, with their weights and all these things, and then you see these ads pop up saying that there's this magic pill of like olive oil that is going to turn you into this healthy, skinny, buff person. Like, how does that frustrate you? How bad does that frustrate you when you see that stuff?
it's it's frustrating that those are the messages that seem to be amplified the loudest.
Yeah.
I think it's because people generally want quick results and they want the easiest path to getting there. It's frustrating. It's frustrating, but I try and take that messaging and help people understand maybe why it's not so correct. And instead of buying a detox tea or something like that, maybe go for walks every day, and you might see that benefits you, and you don't have to spend any money for it. So,
I want you to like get some of these things and just like I want you to open them up and be like, guys, this is literally salad dressing. Like this is the same thing. The same thing that's in this pill is literally in your like Italian dressing at home. Like there's nothing that this is doing for you. And because I feel like you look at some of this stuff, you're like, wait, that's that's nothing. There's nothing in there. Like there's water.
yeah, a lot of the stuff that supplements that people are selling to help with whatever you can find in the grocery store, and it's present in the foods that you eat every day.
Yeah.
So the majority of it, you don't need it. But apples aren't marketed as clever as some of these magic pills, so people go for the pills instead of the apples, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's such a bummer though, but I mean, it is what it is. But that's why we have you, Chris. That is why we have you here to do that. So, one of the things that like a lot of people ask when it comes, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, but like when you're trying to build a home gym, what are some of the things that you should think about? Because I know everybody like has different ideas. Like you are all in lifting weights, bench pressing, all of that stuff, but that's not like everybody. So if somebody's at home, they're trying to build their own home gym, what are some of the main things that they should kind of think about if they're trying to make their own home gym?
Yeah, I think I would focus first on what your overall goal is, and maybe try and think long term with that goal, because you'd hate to invest money in equipment that you're only going to use for 3 months and then your goals change. But if overall health is your general goal, um, getting something simple that allows you to do some cardiovascular exercise inside, and maybe some resistance bands so that you can do some work that involves resistance. It could be as simple as that. And like I said before too, in terms of setting up your own home gym, you could just clear out a space in the house and put nothing in it and call it your home gym, because there's a lot you can use around the house to get quality workouts in. Again, it's just kind of opening up your mind and being a little more creative with things. But I think everybody should have a dedicated space for that, especially after everything we've gone through over the past year. You don't know when things are going to be available to you, and when they're not. But if you can always have that space at home to work on yourself, I think that's huge. So yeah, I mean, you don't have to pour a ton of money into getting weights and everything like that. But overall, I would say, focusing on what your long-term goal is, and trying to supplement it with pieces of home gym equipment that you think would fit that very well.
All right, and the last thing I want to talk to you about is diets, right? So a lot of magic diets out there, a lot of people telling you that you need to cut out all these things right now, cold turkey. But I don't know about you, but it's very hard working from home and your refrigerator's right there. Like I don't have to go downstairs in my building and buy food. It's right there. Like that's
Yeah.
all my food. And some of it's junk. Like I mean, how and you imagine you're probably dealing with this with like your clients too. It's like how do you address just like the whole dieting process while we're all working at home, or just I don't stuff like that really makes me wonder just how eating habits during this time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been tough for everybody. It's the pantry's right around the corner,
Yeah.
and you know what we all keep in there. So it makes it difficult. Whereas if you're at school or if you're at work, it's not within arm's reach. Um, like you said, there's there's a lot of magic diets that are out there, and magic in air quotes, because um, they promote fast results. They promote this way of eating is the optimal way of eating. Um, and kind of similar to exercise for me, I think you need to have a diet that you enjoy, and you need to be able to eat things that you enjoy. And you don't need to refrain from buying all the things you like at the grocery store. There's a healthy way to approach everything. I think that healthy balance of um, the foods that you like, but also the healthy lifestyle habits that you should have in the day to day can probably come together, and you'll be just fine. And doing we talked about it before, doing those little things like going for 10-minute walks, or doing the home workouts every day. I think that there's easy ways to be consistent and solve any type of diet related issues, that don't mean you have to overly restrict yourself or totally change your entire routine just to get healthier.
Yeah, and you posted something that or you reposted it, or maybe it was you. I can't remember, but I know you posted it, and it was something about like you should be worrying about all 365 days of the year, what you do in that time, not just those times. Got to make sure I work out because I'm going to eat a lot on Thanksgiving. Make sure I work out because I'm going to eat a lot during Christmas. It's like, no, do everything throughout the whole year.
Yeah. You know, People don't run into issues because they ate too much on Thanksgiving and Christmas. They run into issues because, again, to go back to that word consistency, they run into issues because of whatever their consistent habits look like. So it's all of the days. It's not what happens between Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's what happens between Christmas and Thanksgiving. That's um, people probably get bored of it with me, but I just talk consistency, 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 because that's what it's all about. If you have a bad day, if you have a bad week, if you have a holiday come through, birthday, anything like that, that's something you should be able to enjoy. You shouldn't have to stress about it or anything like that. Um, Assuming that you have a pretty healthy routine going on. I think that those healthy habits that you have on a daily basis are really key.
Nice. Well, Chris, this has been awesome. Love talking to you about all things fitness, everything your passion. We'll tell people where they can find you, maybe get your services. Where can they find Chris Gates Fitness?
Yeah, thank you again for having me. This has been fun. I'm going to promote the TikTok. So follow me
Nice.
on TikTok, Chris_Gates_fit. But I'm basically on every social media platform. So if you just Google Chris Gates Fitness, you're going to find all my stuff there. And my website is chrisgatesfitness.com. That's where I have everything about coaching and hundreds of articles on fitness and nutrition and all that good stuff that people can check out for free.
Awesome. I can't wait to see you and Jason Derulo doing TikToks together, getting that getting that collab platform going. Well, Chris, thanks so much for joining us on Radio Disney, man. This has been awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.